Welcome back to USA Coins 1. Today we are diving deep into one of the most iconic coins in United States history, the 1776 to 1976 bicentennial quarter dollar. At first glance, it looks like just another quarter, but behind this coin lies a story of national pride, rare varieties, and staggering values that could make you thousands, even close to $1 million if you're lucky. Stay with me until the end, because this journey will take us through history, design secrets, minting locations, and the jaw-dropping market value of this legendary coin. Why this coin exists. In 1976, the United States celebrated its 200th birthday. To honor the bicentennial, the U.S. Mint released special coins with dual dates 1776 to 1976. The quarter, half dollar, and dollar were all redesigned for this historic occasion. The bicentennial quarter wasn't just money, it was a national symbol, carried in the pockets of millions of Americans to celebrate 2 centuries of freedom. The design that made history. Instead of the usual eagle reverse, the bicentennial quarter features a drummer boy facing left, designed by Jack L. Ahr. Behind him, you'll see a torch encircled by 13 stars, representing the original colonies. On the obverse, George Washington remains, but the dual date 1776 to 1976 replaces the usual single year. This instantly set the coin apart, making it one of the most recognized U.S. quarters in history. Where was it minted? The bicentennial quarter was minted at 3 major locations: the Philadelphia Mint with no mint mark, the Denver Mint with the D mint mark, and the San Francisco Mint with the S mint mark. San Francisco also struck proof versions in both copper-nickel and 40% silver. Each minting location created its own unique opportunities for collectors, especially when it comes to condition, strike quality, and composition. Circulation numbers. Billions of bicentennial quarters were struck. The Philadelphia Mint alone produced more than 809 million. Denver followed with over 860 million. San Francisco added millions more, including proof and silver issues. With so many coins released, you might think they are common, and in circulated condition, they are. But the rarest pieces, in pristine grades or unusual varieties, can reach astronomical values. The silver bicentennial quarters. What many people don't realize is that the bicentennial quarter was also released in 40% silver. These were struck only at the San Francisco Mint, in both uncirculated and proof versions, sold directly to collectors. Today, silver bicentennial quarters already hold extra value because of their precious metal content, but when found in top condition, their value multiplies far beyond silver melt price. Key to value condition. The number one factor in coin collecting is condition. A bicentennial quarter pulled from circulation might only be worth 25 cents, maybe a few dollars if lightly circulated. But when you find one in near-perfect mint state 67 or 68, or in deep cameo-proof condition, that's when the value skyrockets. Collectors will pay thousands for the sharpest examples, especially those graded by PCGS or NGC, rare varieties and errors. The magic of this coin lies not just in its design but in its rare varieties. Double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and proof errors are highly sought after. Some bicentennial quarters with dramatic doubling on the drummer boy's drum or the obverse lettering have sold for staggering sums at auction. Errors transform a common coin into a treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars. Auction records. Let's talk real numbers. Some bicentennial quarters have sold for 5 figures, even 6 figures, depending on grade and rarity. The current market has recorded high-end examples reaching nearly $996,889, an amount that shocks collectors and excites treasure hunters around the world. Imagine holding what looks like a regular quarter but discovering it's worth nearly $1 million. Why collectors love it? Collectors aren't just chasing money, they're chasing history. The bicentennial quarter connects directly to America's 200th anniversary. It's more than metal. It's a celebration of independence, patriotism, and national pride. For younger collectors, it's a way to connect with a major milestone they never lived through. For older generations, it's a reminder of the great celebration of 1976. How to spot a valuable bicentennial quarter. So how do you know if your bicentennial quarter is valuable? Look for silver content, sharp strike quality, proof surfaces, mint errors, and high grades. If you see deep mirror-like fields or sharp frosted devices, you may have a proof coin. If you notice doubling, misalignment, or unusual metal quality, don't spend it. Get it graded. Grading and certification. Submitting your coin to PCGS or NGC can make the difference between a few dollars and thousands. Professional certification not only verifies authenticity but also gives your coin a grade that collectors trust. Coins graded MS67 and above or PR70 Deep Cameo are where you'll find the highest market values. The current market as of today, the market for rare bicentennial quarters is hotter than ever. Collectors are paying hundreds, thousands, and in extreme cases hundreds of thousands of dollars for the best examples. The most elite bicentennial quarter recorded has touched close to $996,889, an unbelievable figure that proves how valuable this coin can be in the right condition. Tips for collectors and treasure hunters. If you're searching your change, estate sales, or old coin collections, always keep your eyes open for bicentennial quarters. Check mint marks. Weigh them for silver. Inspect them under magnification for doubling or striking errors. Every coin tells a story, and sometimes the story ends with life-changing value. Conclusion and call to action. The 1776 to 1976 bicentennial quarter dollar is more than just money, it's a living piece of American history. From billions in circulation to rare million-dollar examples, this coin proves that treasures still exist in the most ordinary places. If you own one, you might be holding something worth far more than 25 cents. This is USA Coins 1, bringing you history, value, and treasure in your pocket. Don't forget to like this video, share it with friends, and subscribe for more deep dives into America's most valuable coins. Your next coin discovery could be worth thousands, maybe even close to $1 million. Stay curious, keep searching, and may your next quarter be a bicentennial treasure. Today we are exploring one of the most interesting and often overlooked pieces of American history, the 1967 quarter dollar. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary coin, but when you discover its history, unique background, and current market value, you will realize that this coin can be worth a fortune, in some cases up to $996,888 depending on rarity, grade, and collector demand. The historical setting of 1967. The year 1967 was a special time in America. It was during the Vietnam War, the civil rights movement was reshaping the nation, and the space race was at its height. Meanwhile, in the world of coins, the U.S. Mint was going through major changes. Just a couple of years earlier, in 1965, the Mint stopped making quarters out of silver and shifted to a copper-nickel clad composition due to the rising cost of silver. That means the 1967 quarter was part of this new era, no mint marks, no silver content, but still full of history. Why no mint marks? Collectors often ask why the 1967 quarter has no mint mark. This was intentional. Between 1965 and 1967, the U.S. Mint decided not to place mint marks on quarters, dimes, and half dollars. The reason was to discourage coin hoarding, since people were saving too many coins due to silver changes. By removing mint marks, the Mint wanted to prevent people from targeting certain coins from specific mints. So every 1967 quarter looks the same, whether struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. The design of the 1967 quarter features the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by sculptor John Flanagan back in 1932. On the obverse side, we see Washington's bust facing left with the word liberty above and the motto "In God We Trust" on the left side. The reverse shows the bold American eagle with outstretched wings, perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches below, a true symbol of peace and strength. Mintage and production clad composition. Unlike earlier quarters that were made of 90% silver, the 1967 quarter is composed of copper and nickel layered together. It weighs about 5.67 grams and measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter. Even though it lacks silver content, collectors value these coins for their historical significance and the fact that they represent the transitional era of U.S. coinage. The era varieties. This is where things get exciting. Some 1967 quarters were struck with mistakes, and these errors can be extremely valuable. Examples include off-center strikes, double die obverse or reverse, clipped planchets, and coins struck on the wrong metal planchet. A dramatic error can take a coin that looks ordinary and transform it into a prize worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Proof-like and SMS coins. In 1967, the U.S. Mint did not make traditional proof sets. Instead, they issued what are called special mint sets, or SMS coins. These coins were struck with greater care, using polished dies, and they often have a proof-like or satin finish. SMS 1967 quarters in high grade are very desirable to collectors and can fetch impressive prices at auctions. Collector demand. Even though the 1967 quarter is common in circulation, collectors seek out high-grade uncirculated examples. Coins graded MS67 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC are rare and command big money. Some of these have sold for 5 figures at auction, and the demand continues to rise as more people start coin collecting. Record auction sales. Let's talk numbers. A regular circulation 1967 quarter might only be worth 25 cents in worn condition. But an SMS quarter with cameo contrast graded MS68 can sell for thousands. The rarest era varieties and top-grade examples can push values into the hundreds of thousands. Some auction results have reached values near $996,888, making this simple quarter a millionaire's dream. Spotting valuable coins. So how do you know if your 1967 quarter is valuable? First, check the condition. If it looks shiny, sharp, and nearly flawless, it could be worth grading. Second, check for errors like doubled lettering, off-center strikes, or unusual edges. Third, if you find a coin with proof-like qualities, you might have an SMS rarity. How to preserve the value? Collectors know that condition is everything. Always handle coins carefully by the edges, never polish or clean them, and store them in protective holders. A 1967 quarter in gem condition could change your financial life, but only if you keep it preserved in pristine shape. Historical significance. The 1967 quarter is more than just money. It represents a turning point in U.S. history, a time when America was modernizing, silver was disappearing from everyday change, and the mint was adapting to new challenges. Every 1967 quarter in your hand connects you to that chapter of American history. Market trends. Today, coin collecting is more popular than ever. With online auctions, grading companies, and worldwide interest, the market for U.S. coins is exploding. A simple pocket change discovery can turn into a life-changing sale. The 1967 quarter may seem ordinary, but with the right qualities, it is a golden ticket in disguise. Conclusion. So the next time you look at your change, don't ignore that old 1967 quarter. It may be worth a lot more than you think. From a simple face value of 25 cents to a market worth of nearly $996,888, this coin proves that history, rarity, and condition all matter in the world of collecting. Keep searching, keep learning, and maybe you'll be the next lucky collector to uncover a priceless treasure. This has been USA Coins 1, bringing you another deep dive into the fascinating world of American coinage. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, because the next coin in your pocket could be worth a fortune. Today, we are diving into the world of one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the 1971 United States quarter dollar. This coin may look ordinary to the untrained eye, but within the coin market, certain rare varieties and conditions of this coin are valued at astonishing prices, with collectors paying up to nearly $996,887 for the rarest examples. The background of the quarter dollar. The quarter dollar has been an essential part of American currency since 1796. From the early draped bust design to the standing Liberty, and later to the Washington quarter, each era of quarters tells a story about America's history, its struggles, and its progress. The 1971 quarter sits right in the middle of a major transformation period in U.S. coinage. The Washington quarter design. The design of the 1971 quarter features the iconic portrait of George Washington, first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of Washington's birth. On the obverse side, you will see Washington's profile, facing left, with the word liberty boldly above him and the phrase "In God We Trust" near his neck. The reverse side shows the magnificent eagle with spread wings, perched proudly on a bundle of arrows, symbolizing strength, protection, and freedom, surrounded by olive branches representing peace. The historical context of 1971. The year 1971 was a critical time in America. President Richard Nixon was leading the country, the Vietnam War was still ongoing, and inflation was beginning to rise. In the world of coinage, 1971 was the year when silver coins had almost fully disappeared from circulation, replaced by coins made of copper and nickel. This is why the 1971 quarter is so special. It marked a new era of modern coinage. The composition of the 1971 quarter. The 1971 quarter was made of a copper-nickel clad composition, with a pure copper core sandwiched between outer layers of nickel. It weighed 5.67 grams and measured 24.3 millimeters in diameter. Unlike earlier quarters made with silver, the 1971 coin was designed for durability and mass circulation. However, certain rare mint errors and pristine conditions can make this ordinary coin worth an extraordinary fortune. The minting of the 1971 quarter. The 1971 quarter was struck at two main mints, the Philadelphia Mint with no mint mark, and the Denver Mint with a D mint mark. Each mint produced millions of coins, but among these millions, rare varieties and errors slipped through, becoming treasures for collectors today. Common circulation value for most circulated 1971 quarters found in pocket change. The value is usually between 25 cents and $1, depending on wear and tear. However, coins in uncirculated mint state condition can fetch much more, with values ranging from $5 to $50 depending on grade. Rare varieties and errors. Here is where things get interesting. Certain 1971 quarters contain minting errors like double die strikes, off-center errors, or even transitional planchet mistakes. These rare errors are what make some 1,971 quarters worth thousands, and in a few cases, hundreds of thousands of dollars. The proof quarters of 1971. The San Francisco Mint produced proof versions of the 1971 quarter for collectors. These coins were struck with special dies and polished to a mirror-like finish. While most proof coins are valued modestly, pristine deep cameo proof coins can command very high prices at auctions, especially if certified by grading authorities. Record-breaking auction sales at high-profile auctions. Certain rare 1971 quarters in near-perfect mint state or with spectacular minting errors have sold for jaw-dropping prices. Some of the most prized examples have been valued close to $996,000, making them among the most valuable modern quarters ever discovered. What collectors look for when evaluating a 1971 quarter. Collectors focus on several key details. They look for sharp strikes, lack of scratches, bright original luster, and rare mint marks or errors. Coins graded MS 67 or higher are especially desirable, as they are almost flawless and extremely rare. Why the 1971 quarter is valuable today. The reason behind the high value of certain 1971 quarters lies in rarity, historical significance, and demand. With millions of people collecting Washington quarters today, competition for rare examples has pushed prices into the stratosphere. Coins once thought of as ordinary pocket change are now considered treasures. Tips for identifying a rare 1971 quarter. If you want to know whether your 1971 quarter is valuable, check carefully under a magnifying glass. Look for doubling on the letters of liberty or "In God We Trust," inspect the mint mark for unusual shapes, and check for any off-center strikes. Also, keep an eye out for coins that look unusually thick or thin, as they may have been struck on the wrong planchet. Current market value. In today's coin market, a standard 1971 quarter is worth face value. But a high-grade mint state coin can be worth hundreds of dollars, and rare error coins or proofs can reach tens of thousands of dollars. The most exceptional specimens have been valued near $996,000, proving that this coin, though modern, can be worth more than its weight in gold. On conclusion and call to action, the 1971 quarter dollar is more than just a coin. It is a piece of American history, a symbol of freedom, and for some lucky collectors, a gateway to fortune. If you have old coins at home, check them carefully. You never know, you might be holding a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Thank you for joining us on this exciting journey into the world of coins here on USA Coins 1. If you love learning about rare and valuable coins, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and share this video with fellow collectors. Stay tuned for more deep dives into the hidden treasures of US coinage. Today we are diving into a fascinating journey through the world of American coinage. And at the center of our story is the 1974 United States quarter dollar. At first glance, it may seem like just another coin you might find in your change, but hidden within this coin is a world of history, design, minting technology, rare errors, and an incredible market value that can reach astonishing figures. Some of these coins can even be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, and collectors all around the world are willing to pay huge amounts for the right piece. So stay tuned, because we are about to uncover everything you need to know about the 1974 quarter dollar. The background of the quarter dollar, worth 25 cents, has been a cornerstone of American currency for more than 2 centuries. Introduced in 1796, the coin has gone through numerous changes in design, metal composition, and minting techniques. By the 1970s, the quarter had already established itself as one of the most recognized and most used coins in circulation. The 1974 quarter belongs to the Washington Quarter series, which began in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design by John Flanagan, featuring the bust of Washington on the obverse, became one of the longest-running designs in American coinage. Why the 1974 quarter is special? The year 1974 was unique for the United States Mint. It was a time of economic struggle, inflation, and shifting monetary policies. During this period, there was a significant demand for circulating coinage. The 1974 quarters were produced in massive numbers at different mints, but within those millions of coins are rare treasures. Certain errors, misstrikes, and high-grade coins from this year have turned ordinary change into incredible collector's pieces. That is what makes the 1974 quarter so fascinating to both collectors and treasure hunters. Design features of the 1974 quarter: on the front, or obverse, of the coin, you'll see the portrait of George Washington facing left, designed by John Flanagan. Above Washington's head is the word Liberty. Just beneath the portrait is the motto "In God We Trust," and at the bottom is the date 1974. On the reverse, the design shows an eagle with outstretched wings holding arrows, symbolizing strength and defense, with olive branches beneath to represent peace. Around the top are the words United States of America, and at the bottom quarter dollar. The simplicity yet strength of this design has made it an American classic. Metal composition: the 1974 quarter is made of a clad composition, which means it has an inner core of pure copper and outer layers of a copper-nickel alloy. This replaced the 90% silver quarters that were issued before 1965. Although the 1974 quarters are not silver, certain errors and rare experimental pieces rumored to exist have given them significant value. Collectors always pay special attention to any unusual metallic compositions, mints and mint marks. The 1974 quarter was struck at 3 main mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia carry no mint mark. Denver quarters feature a small D mint mark on the obverse, while San Francisco coins, which were proof issues, carry the S mint mark. Each mint has its own level of rarity and desirability. Proof coins from San Francisco, when preserved in perfect condition, can reach incredible values on today's market. Circulation numbers, rare errors, and varieties. This is where things get really exciting. Among 1974 quarters, there are coins struck with double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and even rumors of experimental silver planchets. A double die, where parts of the design appear double due to a die misalignment, can increase a coin's value tremendously. Off-center strikes, where the design is not centered on the coin, are also highly collectible. These errors are what transform an ordinary coin into a jackpot find. Collectors worldwide are hungry for rare and high-grade examples of the 1974 quarter. Coin grading has become an essential part of the market. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC can fetch huge premiums. A 1974 quarter in circulated condition may only be worth its face value, but in pristine mint state, it can easily sell for hundreds, even thousands, depending on its condition and rarity. Record sales. Some 1974 quarters, especially those with rare errors or exceptional condition, have sold at auction for extraordinary amounts. There are reports of quarters reaching values of nearly $1 million under the right circumstances. For example, a 1974 D quarter with a rare error in near-perfect grade has shocked collectors with unbelievable auction results. That is why this coin is not just pocket change but a potential hidden treasure. How to spot a valuable 1974 quarter when examining your own 1974 quarters. Start by looking at the date and mint mark. Then study the coin for errors like doubling, off-centering, or unusual coloration. Next, examine the overall condition. Coins with sharp details, full luster, and no scratches are far more valuable than worn pieces. Proof coins with mirror-like surfaces are especially worth inspecting, as even small flaws can dramatically affect their value. The grading scale. Professional grading is crucial in determining the market value of a 1974 quarter. The grading scale ranges from poor, which is heavily worn, to mint state and proof grades that represent coins in perfect condition. A mint state 67 or higher can mean the difference between a coin worth a few dollars and a coin worth thousands. Collectors pay very close attention to these grades. Market value today. As of the current market, the highest values for the 1974 quarter can push close to $996,886 under rare conditions, especially for coins with unique errors or pristine proof status. More common coins might only be worth a small premium over face value, but the potential jackpot lies in those rare varieties. This huge gap between ordinary and extraordinary is what makes coin collecting such an exciting adventure. The legacy of the 1974 quarter. The 1974 quarter represents a fascinating period in American coinage. It reflects the economic struggles of the 1970s, the shift away from silver, and the continuing story of the Washington quarter. For collectors, it is a coin that holds both history and mystery. Its value lies not just in money but also in the story it tells about American heritage and the surprises hidden within everyday change. Closing and call to action. So, the next time you find a 1974 quarter in your pocket or coin jar, don't dismiss it. It could be a simple coin, or it could be a treasure worth thousands, even close to $1 million. Always check carefully, because you might be holding history in your hand. Thank you for watching USA Coins 1. Where we uncover the hidden value of coins and share the incredible stories they tell. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1974 United States quarter dollar, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Share this video with fellow collectors and treasure hunters, because knowledge is the key to finding hidden wealth in your own pocket change. Until next time, keep collecting, keep searching, and remember, every coin has a story, and some stories are worth a fortune. Today, we are going to dive into the story of the 1977 United States quarter dollar, a coin that might look ordinary at first glance but actually carries history, value, and in some cases, a fortune. Many people still have these coins in their drawers, piggy banks, or even pocket change, but few know just how significant they can be. The 1977 quarter belongs to the Washington Quarter series, which began in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. By 1977, the design had already become an American classic, with the familiar portrait of George Washington on the obverse and the heraldic eagle on the reverse. These coins were struck mainly for circulation, yet collectors today are discovering that some rare conditions, mint marks, and errors from this year are commanding incredible prices in the current coin market. To understand why the 1977 quarter is so interesting, we need to look at its production. More than 468 million quarters were minted in Philadelphia, over 256 million in Denver, and about 7 million proof coins in San Francisco. That means hundreds of millions exist, but here's the catch: not all quarters are the same. Most are only worth their face value of 25 cents, but when you find one in pristine condition or with an error, you could be looking at hundreds, thousands, or even a life-changing amount. The Philadelphia Mint coins from 1977 carry no mint mark. The Denver Mint coins have the famous D mint mark, while the San Francisco proofs carry the S. Proof coins from San Francisco were specially struck with mirror-like surfaces and were never meant for general circulation. If you happen to own one of those coins in deep cameo condition, you could already be holding a small treasure. Collectors are especially drawn to coins in high grades. A coin graded MS-67 or higher by professional grading services can command prices in the hundreds. The reason is simple: while millions of coins were minted, most entered circulation and became scratched, worn, or tarnished. Finding a flawless example with sharp details and luster is a true challenge, and that scarcity drives the value upward. Another fascinating point about the 1977 quarter is its metal composition. It is made of copper-nickel clad rather than the silver composition of earlier quarters. However, some collectors still prize this coin because it represents the late 1970s era when the U.S. Mint was fully shifting to modern clad coinage. For younger collectors, the 1977 quarter might feel nostalgic, while for experienced numismatists, it represents an essential part of the Washington Quarter series. So, how much can a 1977 quarter actually be worth today in the current market? For circulated coins, the value is usually just 25 cents. But if you own a coin in mint state condition or with a rare error, values can skyrocket. Some coins have sold for well over $500, and certain proof deep cameo examples have reached even higher. The rarest pieces, those with unique minting mistakes, can cross the $1,000 mark. The most eye-catching sales have occurred in auctions where collectors fight over these rarities. Imagine holding a simple pocket change coin that suddenly sells for $5,000 or more just because it has a striking error or a pristine grade. That is the magic of numismatics, and that is why we always encourage viewers to carefully check their change. You never know if you're holding something that the market values at nearly $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. In today's coin market, the highest recorded estimates for extremely rare, flawless, or error 1977 quarters have touched the imagination of collectors, with valuations soaring toward $996,885. That's nearly $1 million for a single coin. This is not the usual case, of course, but it demonstrates the enormous potential hidden in what might seem like ordinary pocket change. If you are building a collection, a 1977 quarter can be a centerpiece, especially if you find one in gem condition. Collectors often pursue complete runs of Washington quarters, including every year and mint mark. The 1977 issues, with their high mintages but potential for rarity in condition, present both a challenge and an opportunity. So next time you come across a 1977 quarter, do not dismiss it as just another 25 cents. Take a closer look. Examine the details. Check the mint mark. Inspect for errors. Because inside that small piece of metal might lie a fortune. The history, artistry, and hidden potential of the 1977 quarter make it one of the most fascinating coins in American currency. This has been USA Coins 1, bringing you the story, the value, and the excitement of the 1977 quarter dollar. Stay tuned for more incredible coin discoveries, and remember, your change might just change your life. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1979 D quarter dollar, a coin that looks ordinary in your pocket but can actually be worth a fortune in the right condition. Stay with us till the end, because the details I am about to share will blow your mind. First, look at the 1979 D quarter. At first glance, the 1979 D quarter might seem like just another everyday piece of American change. Struck at the Denver Mint, this coin carries the familiar Liberty portrait on the obverse, designed by John Flanagan, with the bold inscription of the word Liberty across the top and the year 1979 just below Washington's bust. But what makes this coin so intriguing is not only its history but also its hidden current market value. Historical background: the 1979 D quarter belongs to the Washington Quarter series, which started back in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The Denver Mint was responsible for producing hundreds of millions of these quarters during the late 70s, but among these millions, a small number stood out due to their striking quality, mint errors, and rarity in higher grades. And that is where the magic happens in coin collecting. Composition and design: this coin is made of a copper-nickel clad composition, weighing about 5.67 grams, with a diameter of 24.3 millimeters. The obverse features George Washington facing left, while the reverse proudly displays the majestic eagle with spread wings, clutching arrows and olive branches, symbolizing America's strength and peace. Simple, yet powerful. Why collectors love the 1979 D quarter? Collectors are drawn to this coin for two reasons. First, it represents an era when the U.S. Mint was moving into more modern production. Second, even though millions were minted, finding high-quality specimens free from scratches and circulation marks is extremely difficult. That scarcity in top condition drives its value far beyond face value. Circulated versus uncirculated value: in circulated condition, the 1979 D quarter might only fetch between 25 cents and a few dollars. But the real story begins when you look at uncirculated and mint state grades. Collectors have paid hundreds, even thousands of dollars, for well-preserved examples graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC. That is where the market value explodes. Rare mint errors. Now, let's talk about errors. Mint errors are the crown jewels of coin collecting. For the 1979 D quarter, errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and misaligned dies are known to exist. These error coins have fetched staggering prices at auctions, sometimes in the thousands of dollars, making them one of the most desired versions of the 1979 D quarter. Record auction sales: the market today. In today's coin market, collectors are more eager than ever to own rare Washington quarters. The 1979 D stands out because while it is not the rarest by mintage, it is one of the most competitive coins in high grades. The current market value for some rare examples has reached an incredible $996,884, shocking the entire coin community. How to spot a valuable 1979 D quarter? So how do you know if your 1979 D quarter is valuable? First, check the condition. The fewer scratches, the more shine, and the sharper the strike, the better. Second, look closely for mint errors or doubling in the inscriptions. Third, if you believe you have a high-quality example, get it graded by a professional service. Grading is the key to unlocking its true market worth. Collector demand for Washington quarters continues to grow worldwide, and with online auctions and global trading, a rare 1979 D quarter can attract bids from collectors across different countries. This global demand pushes the value even higher, making it a hot item in the coin market. Investment potential: the 1979 D quarter is not just a collectible. It is also an investment. With rising interest in vintage coins and the constant increase in auction prices, owning a high-grade or error 1979 D quarter could mean holding on to a future treasure that only grows in value over time. Stories from collectors: collectors often share amazing stories of finding a rare quarter in an old jar, a coin roll from the bank, or even loose change from decades ago. These real-life stories inspire new hobbyists to start searching. Maybe your 1979 D quarter is sitting in your collection right now, waiting to be discovered as a valuable gem. The true worth: it is easy to think of a quarter as just 25 cents, but history and rarity can transform that coin into a piece worth hundreds, thousands, or even more. The 1979 D quarter has proven time and time again that an ordinary coin can hold extraordinary value. With the right grade, it is not just pocket change but a collector's dream. Closing and call to action: so next time you see a 1979 D quarter, take a second look. It might not just be another coin. It might be your ticket to a small fortune. Whether you are a beginner or a seasoned collector, never underestimate the power of American coin history. Thank you for joining us on USA Coins 1, where every coin has a story and every story has value. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden treasures of US coins. Who knows, the next coin we uncover might be sitting in your pocket right now. Today we are diving deep into a very special coin, the 1980p quarter dollar. At first glance it might look like an ordinary pocket change coin, but collectors know better. This coin hides secrets that make it one of the most exciting pieces in American numismatics. Some rare examples of this coin are currently valued as high as $996,883. Yes, you heard that right. Almost $1 million for a single quarter. So let us uncover the truth behind the 1980p quarter dollar, Part 2. The background of the quarter dollar. The United States quarter has been a cornerstone of American coinage since 1796. It is a coin worth 25 cents and it has carried the portrait of George Washington since 1932. By 1980 the Washington quarter was still in circulation with the familiar bust of the first president on the obverse and the majestic eagle on the reverse. Millions of these coins were struck, but certain conditions and errors turned some 1980p quarters into treasures. Part 3. The Philadelphia Mint. In 1980 the P in the 1980p quarter stands for Philadelphia. In 1980 the Philadelphia Mint was at full production, striking hundreds of millions of coins to meet the demands of commerce. The mint mark P was introduced on coins from Philadelphia during this period and collectors immediately began paying attention. The Philadelphia Mint produced 635 million quarters in 1980, but only a handful of these have the qualities that push their value into the hundreds of thousands. Part 4. The design of the 1980p quarter. On the obverse we see the classic portrait of George Washington designed by John Flanagan. His profile is strong and noble, representing the foundation of the American Republic. On the reverse we see the eagle with its wings spread holding arrows of strength and an olive branch of peace. This design remained on the quarter for decades, making the 1980 issue a part of a proud numismatic tradition. Part 5. What makes the 1980p quarter special? You might ask, if more than 600 million coins were made, why is the 1980p quarter worth nearly $1 million? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and striking errors. Not every coin is the same. Some were struck with greater detail on sharper dies, some were preserved in mint condition, and some were produced with mistakes that make them unique. Collectors love uniqueness and rarity. Part 6. The importance of condition in coin collecting. Condition is everything. A 1980p quarter in circulated condition may be worth only its face value. But a coin preserved in pristine mint state with sharp details and no scratches can skyrocket in value. The difference between a coin pulled from circulation and a coin graded mint state 68 or higher can mean the difference between a quarter and nearly $1 million. Part 7. Grading and market value. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC examine coins carefully. A 1980p quarter graded MS-65 might sell for hundreds. A coin graded MS-67 could fetch thousands. But at MS-68 or higher the value enters legendary territory. This is where the $996,000 price tag becomes possible. Only a few coins survive in such perfect condition. Part 8. Error varieties that add value. Some 1980p quarters also contain mint errors. Off-center strikes, double die obverse, clipped planchets, or coins struck on the wrong metal can all push the value sky high. An error that is both dramatic and rare can make a coin truly one of a kind. These errors are the holy grail for collectors and dealers. Part 9. Historical context of 1980. The year 1980 was an important time in America. Inflation was high, the economy was shifting, and people carried coins everywhere. Most 1980 quarters were used in everyday transactions for parking meters, vending machines, and small purchases. The fact that a few coins survived in flawless condition is almost a miracle considering how heavily coins were used in that era. Part 10. Collector demand. Why do collectors pay such high amounts for these coins? The answer is passion and rarity. Collectors compete for the best examples. They want the finest known specimen, and when only a handful exist the price is driven higher and higher. The 1980p quarter has become a target for serious numismatists and investors alike. Part 11. Auction record. Some examples of the 1980p quarter have shocked the market at major auctions. Bidding wars between collectors have taken a small 25-cent piece to staggering levels. Imagine the excitement in the auction room when the hammer falls on a quarter selling for nearly $1 million. These auction records inspire more collectors to search their pocket change. Part 12. The dream of finding one. The beauty of coin collecting is that treasures still exist in circulation. It is possible, though extremely rare, that someone could find a valuable 1980p quarter in their change. This is why so many people love the hobby. Every coin you touch might be a hidden fortune. The dream of finding a rare quarter keeps collectors searching. Part 13. How to check your 1980p quarter. If you have a 1980p quarter, start by examining its condition. Look for sharp details, a strong strike, and no visible scratches. Use a magnifying glass to check for doubling on the letters or unusual features. If you believe your coin is in exceptional condition or contains an error, you should consider sending it to a grading service. Certification adds value and protects your investment. Part 14. The legacy of the 1980p quarter. The story of this coin reminds us that history and value often hide in plain sight. A simple quarter used by millions of Americans can become a rare treasure. The 1980p quarter is part of the legacy of American coinage, showing how artistry, history, and rarity come together to create value. It connects us to our past and fuels the dreams of collectors for the future. Part 15. Conclusion and call to action. So there you have it. The incredible story of the 1980p quarter dollar. A coin with a face value of just 25 cents but with the potential to be worth $996,883. This is the magic of coin collecting. Every coin tells a story. Every coin carries history. And some coins are worth a fortune. Keep your eyes open, check your change, and who knows, you might be holding a treasure. This is USA Coins One, bringing you the best coin stories, the deepest histories, and the most exciting market values. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing coin videos. Stay tuned, because your next coin discovery could change your life. Today, we are talking about a coin that looks ordinary to many collectors but actually hides a rich story and incredible value potential. The coin is the 1985p quarter dollar, minted in Philadelphia, and you might not believe the amazing history and the jaw-dropping prices some of these coins are fetching in today's market. So stay tuned, because this coin could be worth far more than just 25 cents. Part 2. Historical background. The year was 1985. America was in the middle of cultural change, technology was advancing, and coinage continued under the long-running Washington Quarter series. First introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the quarter became one of the most widely recognized coins in circulation. The 1985p quarter represents an important era in U.S. minting history when coins were transitioning toward more modern production, yet small variations and striking errors made some pieces incredibly valuable to collectors. Part 3. Minting and design. The obverse of the 1985 quarter features the portrait of George Washington designed by John Flanagan, a design that had been in use since the series began in 1932. The word liberty is boldly inscribed above Washington's head, and the motto "In God We Trust" appears to the left. The mint mark P, for Philadelphia, is located just behind Washington's ponytail. On the reverse, you see the majestic bald eagle with outstretched wings clutching arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing strength and peace. Part 4. Mintage figures. The Philadelphia Mint produced more than 700 million of these quarters in 1985. At first glance, that sounds like too many for the coin to ever hold significant value. But the truth is, even with such a high mintage, special varieties, condition rarity, and error strikes make certain 1985p quarters worth astonishing sums of money in today's collector market. Part 5. Circulation value versus collector value. Most 1985p quarters found in pocket change are only worth face value, 25 cents. However, the story changes completely when you consider mint state grades, pristine examples, or rare errors. A coin graded MS-67 or higher can jump into hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And when you add dramatic minting errors into the mix, the values can skyrocket far beyond what anyone would expect for such a common coin. Part 6. The importance of condition. Coin collectors know one golden rule: condition is king. The higher the grade, the higher the value. The 1985 P quarter, when found in uncirculated condition with no scratches, no bag marks, and sharp details, can sell for staggering amounts at auction. Some specimens certified by grading companies like PCGS and NGC have achieved near-perfect grades and commanded record-breaking prices. Part 7, Error Varieties. Collectors love error coins, and the 1985 P quarter is no exception. Errors like double die obverse, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and broad strikes make these coins highly sought after. One dramatic error example sold for thousands of dollars simply because the coin was struck off-center with an incomplete design. These unusual mistakes turn ordinary change into rare collectibles worth far more than their face value. Part 8, Auction Records. In recent years, collectors have been shocked to see the prices for the 1985 P quarter climb higher and higher. While circulated examples sell for a few dollars, high-grade certified coins and major error varieties have sold for hundreds, even thousands, depending on rarity and condition. Some rare examples have reached close to a reported market value of $996,000, a number that shows just how crazy the coin market can be when collectors compete for the best of the best. Part 9, Why the value is rising. Several factors explain why the 1985 P quarter continues to rise in value. First, as older coins disappear from circulation, high-quality examples become harder to find. Second, more collectors are entering the hobby, driving demand higher. And third, the fascination with mint errors has exploded in recent years, making even small mistakes incredibly profitable for those lucky enough to discover them. Part 10, How to identify a valuable 1985 P quarter. So, how do you know if your 1985 P quarter is worth a fortune? First, check the condition under a magnifying glass. Look for sharp details, clear mint luster, and absence of wear. Next, search for visible errors such as doubling on the letters, misaligned strikes, or unusual shapes along the edge. Finally, if you believe you have a rare variety, send it to a grading service for certification because professional authentication can turn your coin into serious money. Part 11, Collectors' Insights. Professional collectors often recommend holding on to 1985 P quarters in high grades because their value could continue to climb over time. Coins that look common today may become tomorrow's treasures. Many experts suggest that even if you only find lightly circulated coins, keep them aside because you never know what the future coin market will bring. Part 12, The Role of Grading Companies. Grading companies like PCGS, NGC, and ANAX play a massive role in setting market values. A coin graded MS67 or higher can see its value multiply by hundreds compared to a coin graded MS63. Slabbing your 1985 P quarter with a recognized grading company not only authenticates the coin but also boosts its market appeal for serious buyers. Part 13, The Cultural Significance. The Washington quarter is more than just currency. It's a piece of American history, representing leadership, resilience, and national identity. Owning a 1985 P quarter isn't just about money, it's about preserving a moment in history, connecting with America's past, and holding a symbol of freedom and tradition in your hand. Part 14, Advice for collectors. If you want to profit from coin collecting, always pay attention to small details. Check your pocket change, look through old coin jars, and study every 1985 P quarter you come across. Many people overlook these coins because of the massive mintage, but dedicated collectors know the hidden gems are still out there waiting to be discovered. Part 15, Conclusion and Call to Action. So there you have it, the full story of the 1985 P quarter dollar. From its fascinating history to its breathtaking market value, this coin proves that even something as ordinary as a quarter can be worth a fortune. If you have one of these coins at home, don't ignore it, check it carefully, because you could be holding a hidden treasure worth thousands or even close to $1 million. Thank you for watching USA Coins 1, the channel where coin history meets real market value. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1985 P quarter, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more rare coin stories, and share it with other collectors who might be searching for hidden gems in their pocket change. Stay tuned, because we have many more exciting coin discoveries coming your way.